Hello, everyone. Good evening. Or is it good morning? I don't know what time it is, wherever you are. Thank you for joining this broadcast. Today, I'm going to briefly talk about relationships. So, it could be relationships with friends, could be relationships with neighbors, could be relationships with work colleagues, your professional colleagues, your spouse, even your children. Funny enough, because we live in the end times, so we just have to be very careful. So when people show you who they are, stop making excuses for them. Believe them. When people show you who they are, stop making excuses for them. Believe them and protect yourself. When people show you who they are, directly or indirectly, not only in their words, but in their conduct, because a lot of times people say one thing and then they do something else. I think more in their conducts. Believe them. So I'm saying this, obviously, the reason why I'm saying this, it's a recent happening. I don't know how long ago this happened. A businessman who caught one of his employees cheated, obviously, pilfering money from his business. He forgave this guy and obviously put things in place to make sure that the employee, is able to repay back the money stolen by the employee. The employee went ahead and killed him. If that employer, that boss, if he was smart enough or understood life enough, perhaps he would have either arrested that employee or sent him away and kept him far, 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 far away from him. Because anybody who has the mind to make sure that your business doesn't grow, anybody who has the mind to make sure that your marriage doesn't survive, anybody who has the mind to make sure that even when you're happy, they don't feel happy, that person or group of persons, they don't have an interest, your best interest at heart. Anybody that's when you are rejoicing, that's the worst moment of their life. Especially in these days of social media, what they do, they go on your page, they open up to watch you, to monitor, to see what's up with you. Have you been killed, or have you died, or is something negative or bad happening to you? Anybody who does that is an enemy of your progress. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to have done anything to them. Remember what happened to Jesus. The Bible teaches us that he went about doing good. All that Jesus did in his time, he went about doing good. He healed the sick, he mended the brokenhearted, he provided food for the hungry. But they hated him. So you don't really have to do anything bad to anybody or a group of people for them to hate you. But the responsibility is yours to protect yourself. So when people or when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Stop making excuses for people. Stop saying you are giving. It's okay to give people a second chance, but not at your detriment. If that employer, if that's executive director, or whoever he is, he was well, because he's gone now. If he had protected himself by putting that guy far, 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 far away from him, perhaps he would have been alive now, at least for his family. But he gave him a second chance. He gave him the opportunity to repay the money he stole. But lo and behold, that gave this evil guy the opportunity to now plot to kill him. So a lot of times, people may plan to harm you, not because you have done anything to them, but because, and do you know, one of the reasons why that guy actually kind of took additional steps to kill his boss, it wasn't because of the money that he stole that he was supposed to repay. It's because from the inception, that hatred, a lot of times, it is a kind of hatred that is born out of envy and jealousy. So you see, that hatred that is born out of envy and jealousy. Why are you the one that is my boss? Why are you the one that all the good things are happening to? Why are you the one that has the beautiful wife? Why are you the one that has the handsome husband? Why are you the one that is always smiling? Why are you happy? A lot of times people question this. But what they tend to forget is that the world is big enough to take everybody. That you are not rich today doesn't mean that in 5 years' time you are not going to be rich. That you are not married today doesn't mean that in 2 years' time you are not going to be married. You understand? So you don't have to have, that guy doesn't have to have done anything to his employee. And it's not because he asked him to repay the money. Because he forgave him, he gave him the opportunity to repay back the money in installments. So definitely it's not because he gave him that opportunity to repay back. That's in-depth hatred. That question, like, why is it that you are the one that is my boss? Why are you the one that is the investor? Why are you the one that is making all the money? Do you have two heads? Why is it that your own life is different? In fact, there are people who actually become envious of you just because of the family where you are from. They just become envious. Why are you the one that is born from so and so family? Why are you the one that your parents were able to educate and their own parents couldn't educate them? There are people as petty as that. There are people who cry. They just actually cry over other people's happiness. There are people that even as you are doing good to them, you are being kind to them, your kindness hurts them, makes them feel bad. There are people, you give them a gift of money, they are crying. And then you think that they are crying because they are happy. That's some of them, they are tears of bitterness and anger. It's like they are questioning themselves. Why are they not the ones that is able to give the gift? Why are they the ones that are always receiving? And so they cried, and that tears is born out of hatred and malice and envy and jealousy. So this is the world that we live in. What you must always say to yourself when you begin to ask questions: what is it I've done to this person for hating me? What is it that I've done to this friend for hating me? What is it that I've done to this family member for hating me? One thing you must remember, don't ever forget, what did Jesus ever do to the people that killed him? He never did anything. Even they chose the thieves over him. When they were given an option to say, who do you prefer for me to be released? They chose the thieves over him. And they could not point out one single thing that he did to any one of them. So his goodness reminded them of their evil. So they hated him with a passion. They wanted to eradicate him. They hated him so badly for his good nature, not because he did anything to them. So if humans can do it to Jesus Christ, who are you that they will not do it to? So when people show you who they are, most especially in their conduct, a lot of times you will hardly see it in their conduct because they will pretend so much and they'll be giving you this lip service. I love you, but keep an eye. Remember, they were singing, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna in the highest. Blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord, Hosanna in the highest. They sang all of that in praise of Jesus Christ. But at the end of the day, they still obviously betrayed him in order for him to be crucified. So there are some you will hardly know. It's like they will be singing your praises. You would think they are for you, but they are against you. Sometimes I'm like, why is it that God doesn't actually give us the... it's like when you are looking through people, through humans, it's like your eyes are like X-ray. You're able to just read their minds. Maybe that would have helped people to become better people. Because when they know that every other person can read every other person's mind, then obviously we are forced to become better people because we know we are going to get caught. So some people are just naturally evil. I don't know whether it's... Well, the Bible actually said it, that humans by nature are evil. That even after God created humans, he now regretted. Because humans now decided to recreate themselves by going deep and deep into so much evil. And God regretted that he created man. So you can imagine the only thing that separates one human being from the other is anybody that has the fear of God. So that is why you must be wary. If you are around somebody who doesn't have the fear of God, you must be wary because they are capable of doing anything. Anybody who doesn't have the fear of God. I'm not talking about who goes to church and who doesn't go to church, because these days there's really no difference. You can hardly know the difference. So anybody that doesn't have the fear of God, you got to be very careful, because they can do and undo. They can do and undo. You stole from an employer, he forgave you and gave you an option to repay back the money. You went ahead and you killed him. This is how evil humans can get. Years ago, something like that almost happened to me, where I actually allowed a group of solicitors, a group of lawyers to come in to work with me. I opened up my office doors to them, about 5 or 6 of them, and they came in with a plot. If not for the spirit of discernment for God that saved me from their hands, they came in with a plot. They would take money from clients. They would take files home. They would steal all the money. They were stealing from my receipt book and issuing receipts to clients. Until I started questioning, and I now showed my accountant the receipt. I was like, this receipt, I'm not aware of this receipt. Even when I'm doing a review with them, they hide all those informations. When you're asking them one question, they try to cover up. And then my accountant said to me, these people, they want to put you into trouble, you know. They are issuing clients receipts to clients. They're not paying the money into the office account. They're stealing money from the firm. So they came in with a hidden agenda. They came in to pull me down. They came into, a lot of times, when they come in, they're not coming in to build the business. They're asking questions. How are you even able to, why is it that you are the one that set up that business? So they come in with so much anger, with so much envy, so much unhealthy rivalry to pull you down. If not for God, this happened in between 2009 and 2010. But God intervened and paid them back in their own portion. 11 years down the line, I'm still standing. Still standing. Thank God for his grace. So these are humans. A lot of times they do it out of anger, out of envy. They just want to destroy you. The thing is, talking about people who go out there to destroy you, the thing is, let's say, for example, you're working in a place, you and your colleagues, and it's like you don't want to set eyes on that colleague of yours. If that colleague is sacked, are they going to add that person's job to your own job? Or are they going to add the wages? Begin to ask yourself questions. Are they going to add that person's wages to your own wages too? Let's say, for example, the person is earning 60,000. Are they going to now add 60,000 to your own wages so you can be earning 120,000 per annum? Begin to ask ourselves questions. The world is big enough to take everybody. Look at the cloud. If you look at the cloud, there's no pillar holding the cloud. There is no start, there is no end. As you are moving towards the end, the cloud is moving itself. Everywhere around the globe, and everywhere you go, the cloud is there. So I really don't understand why we cannot work with each other. If somebody is prospering and obviously something you are interested in, go shadow them, ask them, how did you do it? I know a lot of times people don't like to divulge their business secrets, but even by the time you ask 1, 2, 3, or 4 people, one of them will be able to obviously be genuine enough to teach you maybe their business tricks or how they set up their business. Or even some people, ordinary your hairstyle, ordinary simple dress that may not even be so expensive, or even ordinary smile that they see their fellow humans smile. It annoys them. Why is she smiling? Why does he look happy? You'll be amazed the kind of things that upsets people about other people. It's unbelievable. And then you start wondering, what kind of upbringing do they have? Who raised them? What is the bitterness and the unhealthy rivalry for? And this is the reason a lot of people, out of envy and jealousy, they have blocked, they have obviously stopped themselves from gaining from good mentors, people that are supposed to mentor them so that they will become successful. Because of their envy, unhealthy rivalry and competition, they've cut away from that person that they're supposed to gain from, that person that is supposed to mentor them so that they will become even more successful than the person. Because they become very envious and so bitter. Even this ordinary setting up online groups, either WhatsApp groups or, Facebook page, setting up a Facebook page or Facebook group that is for free. Thank God for Mark Zuckerberg. I beg your pardon, he's pronouncing his surname. Pardon me. Even though people do it for free, there are some people who will be part of that group. They come in there with anger. Why is it that you are the one setting up the group? Why is it that you are the one that you think you can speak the English or you can write English? They're still, so petty things that really don't matter. Even though they are supposed to benefit from that gathering, they're not happy. They don't have the ideas. They cannot do it. They don't have the expertise. They don't have the skills. And they remain unteachable. Because of what? Because of envy. Unhealthy competition. There are some people, everything to them is competition. Parents, please, we need to begin to take time to teach our children about the disadvantages of envy and unhealthy rivalry. We need to begin to teach our children about the disadvantages. Years ago, I heard about a story of this American singer who was doing very well, a young girl doing very well, and obviously she was touring around, promoting her music, and she picked on her best friend to become her personal assistant. She thought, obviously, they've been close even before she became a celebrity. That personal assistant killed that girl, I think somewhere in Europe. I don't know whether Spain or something. Because of what? Because of envy. And why? Why is it that she is the one that things are always, good for her? Why is it that she's the one that is always more lucky than the other girl? Why does she have to be the PA? Why can't she be the one that is in charge and the other one now becomes the PA? Little things. You see a person driving a car, a good car, they just get envious. Something as simple as a car. They just get envious. Rather than saying to the person, okay, what business are you doing? Can you teach me or can I learn from you? So that they can become also better. It doesn't have to be the same period. It can take you maybe another additional 2 years. You can still afford that car. Obviously, buying a car is actually a priority. It's a necessity. It's not a luxury, to be quite honest. There are some people, they actually lose sleep over other people's progress. They lose sleep over other, and they are awake at night and they are thinking, how do we pull this person down? But what such people forget is that there's Nemesis. There's the law of karma. Whatsoever you sow, you shall reap. So even as you stay awake and you are thinking evil of others, thinking of how to pull other people down, thinking of how to destroy other people's businesses, thinking of how to destroy other people's marriages, thinking of how to steal from other people, the law of karma, Nemesis, will definitely catch up with you, one way or the other. Never in this world have I seen anywhere that somebody plants, you have a garden, then you plant, maybe you plant a particular crop. Let's say you plant corn. And then the corn now grows up and now turns into yam, tubers of yam. It's not possible. Whatever you plant, that's the law of nature. Whatever you plant, you shall reap. If you plant corn, you reap corn. You plant yam seedlings, you reap a big tubers of yam later. So whatever we sow, we shall reap. So when we sit and we plan evil for others, and we are laughing, yes, we got the person, whatever. It's a matter of time. We are going to reap of the fruit of our labor. And what did the Bible say about evil people? That the evil that we commit, it can translate and also replicate in the lives of even children up to the 4th generation. So may God have mercy upon us. So when we are, especially for those who have children, when we're planning evil, we must be careful that we have children. We're going to have, even if we don't have for now, we're going to have children, we're going to have grandchildren. We got to be careful. We just got to be careful. You stole from somebody, you are not planning evil to kill the person, and then you killed the person on top of the money that you stole from the person. It's terrible. And on Sunday, we pick up the Bible, we go to church, we sit and we are singing and we're dancing, we're looking for signs, miracles, signs and wonders. This heart of greed, this selfishness, this extreme level of selfishness, we must minimize it. It's turning us almost as if we are no more humans, as if we are animals. Even animals, they now have they have feelings even more than us. I've seen dogs, if you look at the modern day dogs, the way they behave now, they have more compassion than us humans. These animals, they have no religion. They don't go to church every Sunday. They have no religion. Most of these animals, but they have feeling even more than us humans. They feel even more than us humans. Imagine the loyalty of a dog. The moment you take on a dog, within 1 week, that dog masters you. That dog can smell every member of your household. Anything that hurts you will hurt that dog. As you are coming in, the dog is wagging its tail, is coming around you. It's everything that makes you happy. That's why I love dogs. So if an animal can be so loyal, so loving like that, yeah, the animal doesn't go to church. The animal doesn't read the Bible. The animal doesn't even have that sense of good from evil. It is us humans that God has given a sense of good and evil. God has given us that conscience now. Why are we now behaving lesser than animals? Why are we so wicked? Why is it that our religion doesn't change us? The more we are going deep into this activity of religion, the more godless and fearless we become. Why? What do we need to change our world? What do we need to change this thing that has become a norm? This evil that is almost taking over the whole world. How are we going to change? What legacy are we leaving for our children? Is it this legacy of wickedness, legacy of bloodshed, legacy of envy, legacy of extreme greed and selfishness? Now we've changed it to become self-care. We've changed this selfishness to become self-care. Now you hear everybody talking about, self-care, self-care. Please, there's a difference between selfishness and self-care. Self-care is self-confidence, being able to set a boundary to say enough is enough when something hurts you or somebody is going beyond their boundary, doing things to you that will hurt you or actually expose you to a risk to your health, risk to your life. Self-care is not selfishness. Self-care is not selfishness. Can we please stop misinterpreting self-care to mean selfishness to mean self-care? Every day we're hearing self-care, self-care, self-care. And we're turning into cold humans. Sometimes if you look right into the eyes of people, you'll be amazed. Cold. You see their eyes cold. There's no emotion. There is no love. So the love of humans has grown so cold. And then we're talking about self-care. So there's a difference. There's a difference between selfishness and self-care. Talking about self-care. Self-care is being able to have that self-confidence, to love yourself enough to be able to say no to things that hurt you, things that obviously pose as a risk to your life, things that pose as a risk to your health. Let's say, for example, you're in an abusive relationship. A lot of times people are in an abusive relationship and they just keep giving excuses on behalf of the man. Oh, but he's a nice person. A person is abusing you and you are giving excuses. Oh, he's a nice person. It's only when he's drunk sometimes he starts misbehaving. So in that you are not applying self-care in that situation. Because you got to love yourself enough to be able to say enough is enough. I refuse to be abused. I refuse that this person should inflict pains on me. I refuse to be maltreated. That's the self-care. You are so confident enough, so whole. You value yourself. You know your worth enough to be able to say enough is enough. I'm not going to take this abuse anymore. And then you come out of the relationship. That is self-care. It means you are taking care of yourself holistically. That is the self-care we're talking about. It's not selfishness. Because if you love yourself enough and a man is causing you pain, causing you hurt, inflicting physical pain on you and emotional pain, you should be able to say, no, this cannot be love. I need to come out of this relationship. That is the self-care. Set the boundaries. Say to the man, we need to discuss this. If you need help, you need to go seek help. Enough is enough. The next time you do it, I'm gone. Be confident enough knowing that, it is better for you to be out of that kind of a relationship. That is self-care. Not allowing people to take undue advantage of you, even in relationships with friends. Set that boundary. That is self-care. Talk about it. Seek professional help. That is self-care. Stop coming on Facebook, on social media to put up photographs of men who are abusing you and then making people feel that your relationship is 100%. You don't love yourself. That is a lack of self-confidence. You keep putting up a relationship for the world. Your relationship is not whether your relationship depends. The beauty of your relationship is not what the world should see, it's what you are going through inside your home. The relationship you share with that man. So that is self-care. You are in courtship with a man, and today he tells you he's obviously in a Tesco shop. You realize after 2-3 days that he was actually fined 5 kilometers away from where he says he was. Bring it to his attention. That is self-care, because those are signs to show that he's not trustworthy. He lacks integrity. He lies. So that is self-care. Being able to set a boundary, to draw the line from the beginning of the relationship before he gets into marriage. Because what you see during courtship is not going to change after marriage. It's going to get worse. So that is self-care. Knowing who you are, knowing what you want. There are some women, you're in a relationship with a man, you are scared of asking him questions. Where is this relationship taking us? Why are you scared? It's like you are going into partnership with somebody. From the inception, you ask, what do you want from this partnership. So you draw up a contract to say this is what we want, this is what we aim to achieve. These are the objectives of this business relationship. So you know where you are going. The same thing, there's nothing wrong. From the inception of a relationship, you ask that man, what do you want from me? Where is this relationship taking us? So from the inception, you know what he wants. Don't be scared. Don't be saying, no, it's not the African way. What is not the African way? You ask him. So from the inception, he knows that you know who you are. You know what you want. You don't want, there are some women, 5 years you are with a man, you can't ask questions. You've already started playing the role of a wife. And yet, he's not making any move to tell you anything. Every day he comes to visit, you are looking at his hand. Perhaps he's going to propose today. He's going to maybe, who knows, what is that thing he's holding? Is he going to No! You are more than that. He spent 5 years of your life. Sometimes he's saying your nakedness is you are playing the role of a wife. Meanwhile, other men, within these 5 years, the real genuine people who are serious that would have married you, because they've seen you with him for this past 5 years, they feel you're in a relationship. So they've gone ahead to marry other people. So be bold and confident enough to ask. Be bold and confident enough to ask, where are we going? If you don't want to ask from the beginning, maybe you are so scared, you don't want to ask, at least after 6 months. Where are we going? Where is this relationship taking us? Ask. At least 6 months. There's nothing wrong in it. If he's serious, he will tell you. If he's not sure, let him go. It's not worth it. Let the person that is serious come. Because you cannot stay there and be blocking your chances. The main people that are interested in getting married to you, he's blocking your chances from having access to them. So let him, if he wants to go, let him go. And I see women, sometimes women, they fight over a man. Why should you fight over a man? You go and visit a man and you see another lady in his house. It means he's cheating. That's it. It's good. If you get married to such a man, he's going to continue.